to reason. Will you open your eyes?
All right, let's go to, is it Robert in Huntsville? How are you?
I'm doing pretty well, and wow, that entire opening there just totally almost got me on a total segue of why I was originally calling in.
Okay.
Well, first off, I am a theist. My reason for being a theist is non-empirical, personally personal, that has been shown to me that can't be proven, but as such, I have no right to try and force that upon others, nor proselytize me as being 100% right.
Okay.
I was just going to get that out there. So while I am a theist, I disagree with a lot of the Protestant religions, to be precise, on Eastern Orthodox. Anyway, the reason I was calling was because we're in election season, and I don't know about where you guys are, but being here in Huntsville, it's not about the politics, it's about the religion. And me as one, I'm sick and tired of it, because I see religion having no place in either your political views, lawmaking views, or basically anything to do when you're governing over other people.
Let me jump in for just a second here, because right before the show started, we were talking about how much I've enjoyed kind of following the GOP primary thing. I've been kind of encouraged by this particular cycle, because while certainly there are pockets where religion and religious issues and religious justifications for positions on issues are critical, I think what we've seen from this primary is actually a decrease of that. The Tea Party was predominantly, evangelical Protestants. Not all of their issues were necessarily religious, but they haven't had quite as much of a voice in this particular GOP primary. They've been, and it's scattershot, and it seems to be that the primary concerns, at least among Republicans, are the economy and picking someone who they think can beat Obama. I don't disagree with you. Except it's nice that I love the fact that the Constitution clearly states that there should be no religious test for any public office or trust. On the other hand, when we're talking about what people believe and why, I'm not testing the candidates based on their religion. I'm testing them based on what they actually believe and their reasons for it. And I think that the public has a right to know what people believe about certain things, maybe not everything, and certainly not every one of their beliefs is going to impact policy. But I think the public has a right to know, and we have an interest in knowing what their justification is to determine if we're electing or possibly electing someone who's going to, be rational, use evidence-based standards, who's in touch enough with reality to make decisions, or if perhaps we're electing someone whose methods for making decisions tend more towards the woo, supernatural, superstitious side, because I think that's important. I don't want to kind of disregard all that.
And that was what I was trying to get at. I mean, do you, as an atheist, ever see a point where religion should be considered when picking a leader at any government, or should be included in the debate?
I can think of one example. If a candidate is running and he says that his religion will absolutely influence his running of office, then I would say that that should be included in the debate. I would want to know more about that, about his religion, if he was telling me that he was going to govern from his religion.
And also, I think there have been some candidates, some good ones in the past, who have made claims to say, these are my personal beliefs, but I understand that I'm being elected to a position where I represent a plurality, and so instead of simply legislating based on my beliefs or working to enact my own beliefs, I'm actually going to be a good representative of the people as a whole that I'm elected to represent. I think I can be okay with that. I mean, we're talking about a country that's predominantly Christian, including our current president, and so when I'm deciding who to vote, I don't ever go to a checkbox that says, oh, Christian, Mormon, Buddhist, whatever, and eliminate based on that sole criteria. But as I'm listening to these discussions, when I hear individuals whose views, which stem from their religious beliefs, are drastically divergent from mine and from, I think, the Constitution and from, I think, basic, sane, governance, I have to object, and it's not my fault that those positions may be derived from their religion.
Okay. Well, that's basically what I was wondering. Personally, as a theist, I'm happy to live in a secular society that we don't do it, because I see only in a secular society can we ever have true freedom from religion,
Sure.
for religion, and other states.
Completely agree.
Anyway, thank you very much for your time. I know you have other callers that are probably a little more combative than I am, so we'll see what happens. Thank
Yeah.
you very much.
Thanks, Robert.
And I want to plug Americans United for Separation of Church and State,
Yes.
headed by a Church of Christ pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So they agree that religious freedom is best served by the government having no position on religion.
Yeah, it really is kind of straightforward. There have been a number of things, you know, and as the ACA is a nonpartisan group. I'm not picking sides. And actually, while I have been on many occasions a liberal Democrat, I used to be a conservative Republican, I'll vacillate to whichever candidate actually best represents my views at the time.
Sure.
And so when we see, it's one of the reasons why I've been really interested in this primary more than some of the others. There were moments of schadenfreude where it was fun to watch them kind of eat their own. And then also there were some really great points in various debates where I found them some of them making good points and being presidential even. So, you know, I'm not advocating anybody, I'm not ruling
Well, it's like
anybody
you
out.
said, I mean, we can hardly, as an atheist, I can hardly avoid.
Yeah.
I can't avoid voting for religious. If I'm
Well-
going to vote, I'm going to be probably voting for a president who claims to have some religious beliefs.
Yeah, not only that, but because religion is so foundational to what many people are, what their beliefs are, it's almost impossible to avoid those kinds of questions, because religion kind of has its fingers into every little aspect of our lives. And so I'm trying to think of, there aren't too many questions you could ask that don't run the risk of coming back to religion at some point.
Sure.
Excuse me. Right down to even, you know, financial questions of how are we going to divvy up the money, because there are organizations that don't want to give, you know, religions don't want to give money to competing religions. And, you know, a secular government like the one that we have shouldn't be giving money to religious organizations that are going to use that money to discriminate. And so that's where that wall of separation comes in.
Sure.